meal that really satisfies? Or maybe you want a place to take your all-star after the game. Or you're looking for a place to enjoy a delicious meal while watching your favorite team on the big screen TV. Valley Sports Bar and Grill has all the bases covered for all those things and more. Top-notch, friendly, and attentive service. Wall-to-wall big screen TVs with all the big games. And the absolute best wings in Rapid City. Valley Sports Bar. Make it your place. 1865 Valley Drive, Rapid City.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Jensen at Physio. We want to be your trusted partner for physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab. As the official strength and conditioning partners for Stevens, Central, Douglas, and the Rapid City Rush, our team at Physio is building the best athletes in the Black Hills. If you have an athlete in the family, we offer long-term athlete development at affordable prices for middle and high school students. We also have the only board-certified sports PT in Rapid City. At our brand new facility, Physio is ready to help you perform at your best. One-on-one physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab, all at one place. Get started at bhphysio.com.
Get away from it all in the great outdoors for lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. We make your RV experience fun and easy by providing you with a quality recreational vehicle, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. Our large inventory of fifth-wheelers, travel trailers, toy haulers, and live-in horse trailers allows us to save our customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Stop by and see us at Dakota Discount RV, 3330 East Mall Drive across from Cabela's and on JB Road, Blackhawk.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Quarterback John Mattick issued a statement today denying involvement in gambling after screenshots emerged yesterday on social media in which transactions on his Venmo account were labeled sports gambling. Mattick said in the statement, quote, "My Venmo descriptions did not accurately portray the transactions, but were instead inside jokes between me and my friends. I recognize that taken out of context, those descriptions suggest otherwise," unquote. The Minnesota Vikings announced that receiver Rondale Moore suffered a season-ending left knee injury in Saturday's preseason game against Houston. Moore missed last season with a right knee injury that he suffered during a joint practice in August of 2024. Packers QB Jordan Love having surgery today to repair a ligament injury to his left thumb, which is his non-throwing hand, but is expected to be ready for the season opener. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, good Tuesday afternoon. Welcome in across South Dakota. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show back and ready. We are live on Fox Sports Radio. The Nate Brown Show is in. It's always a great day in South Dakota. Say it with me. Hope you're having a nice Tuesday. Starting to warm up a touch. So thanks for being here, making us a part of your day. Thought-provoking sports talk for South Dakota. Let's get after it tonight. And thanks for making this show possible. Remember, you can stream us on X right now, at Nate Brown Show. Follow the show. Watch us live on your phone, at Nate Brown Show. YouTube as well, The Nate Brown Show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. We'd appreciate it, The Nate Brown Show. And you've got us. Here we go tonight from South Dakota to the national headlines. We'll get you covered tonight with some great guests. Let's go to Williamsport tonight. It's time to go out to Williamsport. The Sioux Falls Little Leaguers are getting set for their first round game Thursday night against Mid-Atlantic. So we got the Midwest represent the Midwest against Mid-Atlantic. That's a team from Pennsylvania, a team from just outside of Philly. So look out. It's a little home cooking for Williamsport, Pennsylvania. They've got their home state team taking on the Sioux Falls Little Leaguers. That's Thursday night, and we've got the head coach on, Ryan Vavruska, head coach of the Sioux Falls Little League. He's there in Williamsport. They're doing a parade right now for all the teams. Going to get a check-in as he gets set a couple of days away from the opening game of the Little League World Series with Sioux Falls Little Leaguer. Brian Noah's on tonight from Las Vegas, Fox Sports Radio, national host of Countdown. He's a big sports betting guy, and so what a day to have Brian Noah. I want to get his read on the latest in this college sports betting story. Brian Noah's in from Fox Sports Radio. We'll talk FCS today. Sam Herder's on tap, FCS senior analyst for Hero Sports, breaking down as we get closer to the FCS kickoff, South Dakota State, Sacramento State, and the whole scene. USD, a tough one to start out. Iowa State. Sam Herder's coming up, herosports.com. And finally, it's a Tuesday. Why not Craig Mattick? East River meets West River on the Nate Brown Show. Craig Mattick's on SDPB Sports, live from Sioux Falls. Good guest lineup tonight. Let's get you on if you want in. Make it count. 605-720-1067. Put that number in your phone. That's the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. Put it into the as the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. You don't call Pizza Ranch. You just go to their buffet. East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, or in Brandon. 2 locations in Rapid City. You could call them for carryout as well, delivery. It's all good. The Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet. That's the Studio Hotline. And the Barron's Wilson text line, fan text line, 605-720-1067, direct line into the show tonight. The listener text line, 605-720-1067. All right. Question of the day right out of the gate. Let's do this. So I just have a question for you. Let's just stop your Tuesday drive home distractions. I have a question for you. Right off the bat, what do you think of college athletes betting on college sports? Because over the last couple of years, there's been numerous stories and investigations of college athletes betting on college sports. There's been big investigations, even at Iowa for that matter, right? Was that just last year? So there's been investigations on alleged bets, and I'm just going to ask you, question of the day, how big of a problem do we have with college athletes betting on college sports? Because this is an interesting study today in 2025. I feel like we bend the rules. We really bend the rules in so many ways. We all do it. Well, we're going to let this go. It's 2025. Get over it. The Wild West, man. College sports is full of just nonsense. We got millions of dollars being thrown around to college athletes. Are we really worried about them betting on sports? So these are the narratives I'm hearing today. Why do I bring this up today to start the show? This is something we've talked about. I'm a sports bettor. I don't do it all the time. I've enjoyed it. Entertainment purposes only. Won some, lost some. You know how this goes. As a sports bettor, you think you're really good. and most of us aren't really, really good. Otherwise, we'd be, wouldn't be working, right? We'd be pros in Vegas, the quote-unquote pros. I'm a sports bettor. I love watching games. I like putting some skin into the game. And there's this avenue now that we've gone down where sports betting is more prevalent. We know this. You can bet legally in a bunch of states, like almost 40, and it's soon going to be nationwide. I mean, there's hardly going to be any states hanging on to, no, you can't bet here. I mean, so many states, year after year, they're passing laws where you can have sports betting. South Dakota, we still have it through Deadwood. Okay, a lot of people East River have said, "What? We need to get this mobile app statewide so we can bet on sports." Run it through Deadwood, and I get you. That's my preference, too, is run it through Deadwood, but have a statewide sports app. That's another story for another day. We're not going to go there today, but my point is sports betting is very prevalent. You guys as sports fans know this. It's in everything that we have. It's in everything that we see. DraftKings, odds. I mean, it's in every show, darn near. We don't talk about it every show here, but it's in every show. TV, radio, I mean, it's just in your face. And the advertising is out there as well. I love my BetMGM Sportsbook partners. I mean, it's absolutely something that people love to do. And so this is the category now. College athletes are also being talked to and marketed to. This is right in all these college football stadiums. And these guys are on their phones. They have all these fantasy sports apps, Underdog, and everything else. I mean, it is just wild. And so are we surprised at all that numerous college athletes are probably betting on college sports? And I bet you we don't have a clue. It can't be one of those things, well, yeah, we're catching everybody that's doing it. We're catching everybody that's doing it. No, that can't be the case. But I'm telling you today, do you have a problem? Do we still have a problem with college athletes betting on college sports? That question of the day here on the Nate Brown Show for you tonight. I've got my answer, but I want to know yours. 605-720-1067. Barron's Wilson text line is open as well. Same number. If you can't call, you can text the show on this Tuesday. That's my question. Do we have a problem with college athletes betting on college sports? Because in the rules, it's a big no-no. It's a massive no-no. So in the rules, you can't do it. Okay? And I understand it's like the integrity of the game and all that stuff. We've had scandals going all the way back for a long time. But today in 2025, I'm hearing more and more people, even today, say, why are we worried about this stuff? This isn't a big deal. What do you say? Thanks for getting in. You're live, and you go ahead.
Hey, Nate. Thanks for taking the call.
Appreciate it, man. What do you say?
Hey, honestly, I've been betting college football along with college players since 1960s.
I believe that.
I mean, come on, we all know. I mean, I told you 5 years ago about betting on high school football games. You thought I was crazy. And then, yeah. So let's just be real.
So,
and that was my whole thing with Pete Rose. You know, I'm still 51-49, but on that. But it's there. You got to let it go. The advertisement is.
So you say college athletes are doing it, and it's just the way it is?
No, they've been doing it, Nate. Poker games, it don't matter. It's all gambling.
All right.
You think they're honestly going to school? And I'll tell you, I looked up Myles Garrett. I looked up GPA, and it gave me his high school GPA, which was 4.04. And then it didn't give me a college one.
Oh, you lost
it?
And
I'm like, okay. And, you know, he's not going to school. He's going to school to play football.
Yeah.
And he don't have a degree, Nate.
Let me ask you, what percentage of college athletes are betting on sports today? What percentage?
I bet you it's 45%.
45%. All right, very interesting.
Yeah, you know that wrestler's not getting any tuition money. But if he can make a couple $100 betting on college football, what the heck?
Okay, I see it. I know what you're saying. I may disagree, but I know what you're saying. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for getting in. I don't disagree with him that, he says 45% of college athletes. That's just a guess thrown out. Just a guess thrown out there. I don't know what percentage it is. I don't disagree with him that there's a big number of male college athletes doing that. As a matter of fact, I remember this behind-the-scenes report. There was a behind-the-scenes thing, like an anonymous thing, that the NCAA actually did, saying, how many of you bet on sports? And there were significant numbers. As a matter of fact, I worked at a university. That was one of the big things we talked about. We had to educate our student athletes. You cannot do this. That was before sports betting really went wild in the last few years. So we were in on that at the university saying, you cannot do this. This is a big no-no. The NCAA is still trying to hang on to that. In our world today, it feels like we're ready to let that go. I myself cannot go down that road. I myself cannot say it's okay if this guy's betting on college sports. I don't know if I can compromise with you guys. Maybe I can compromise like Our caller just said, he said, like a wrestler, why can't he bet on the Iowa-Nebraska football game? Why can't a wrestler bet on the football game? Well, there's other things there that you may say, well, he goes to class with these guys. Do they go to class? The wrestlers go to class. You know this. So they go to class. They know these guys. It just opens up too many things, too many possibilities, too many influences. That's what people would say that's the dark side of sports betting. Can a cross-country runner, should a cross-country runner be able to bet on Ohio State and Texas coming up to start the year? See, I think most of us in society today, I think most of you would say probably. And I'm almost, when I say that out loud, a track athlete, a track athlete at South Dakota State, can't bet in Brookings. You got to come to Deadwood. But a track athlete, can they bet on Texas, Ohio State, opening game of the football season? They cannot. It's a huge problem. It's a huge rule violation. Yet I'm starting to wonder, is that something we're really going to keep track of? Is that something we're really going to keep on trying to monitor and hold to, and the rules of college sports? Because look at what we've done with the business of college sports. So I can't go there. I'm not there yet tonight. I still think you can't have this. Why I brought this up tonight, you saw the story about this John Mattick. This is the transfer from Washington State down to Oklahoma. So this quarterback, he goes to Oklahoma, and supposedly there's leaked images of his Venmo account. Description of he paid people for sports. He labeled it sports gambling. Now, I don't know where the story's at because everything's a fake show today. Some people are saying this was manipulated and this was a scam and somebody was trying to get him in trouble. He's denied it. If it's real, it says sports gambling, USC versus UCLA from 2022. And I know Venmo, if you don't make your account private, like everybody and their mother can see it. So is this real from the Oklahoma quarterback today? I don't know if it's real or not. I mean, I have a tough time deciding what's real today. How scary is that? I do this show and I research for the show and we plan things out. Sometimes I see stuff, I'm like, is this right? Is this real? And me and Matt Kearney have to go on a research frenzy to find out, no, this is bogus. And that's where we're at on this John Mattick story, this quarterback now at Oklahoma from 3 years ago. His Venmo account supposedly released, and he had sports gambling where he paid guys. And it was labeled sports gambling. Now, it's either a big miss there or it's manipulated. And he said, hey, this was an inside joke. So it sounds like he was saying it was real. The quarterback in Oklahoma said, I didn't do sports gambling at all. It was just an inside joke with my buddies that I have not bet on sports. And so the question goes out to everybody. How bad is sports gambling for college athletes today? And that's the Nate Brown Show question of the day. 605-720-1067. If you want in, let's get to the text line. Let's see. Listener text. Get rid of the betting. Athletes should not be betting on sports at all. Listener text 605-720-1067 if you want in tonight. Another one, would not be surprised if 80% of athletes are gambling right now. 80%. I don't think it's quite that high, but let's see. Listener text, I believe a huge problem is prop bets. That's one of the things that seems to be the easiest type of bet to manipulate. Oh, for sure. For sure, the prop bets thing is a problem. I like betting on sports as much as other people. The prop bets thing has gotten people in trouble. We've seen that. Under 5 rebounds in an NBA game that nobody cares about in February. Whoops. Now we get flagged. Hey, this guy put $100,000 down on under 5 rebounds. Huh. That's interesting. And then we've had sports gambling scandals already in college. Remember the baseball one a couple of years ago? The baseball one, random college baseball game, and the coach and the betting, somebody laying a bunch of money down on a certain game in the SEC. Let's see. Lister text for college athletes. Nate, it should be okay for college athletes to gamble on sports that they don't compete in. College athletes should be able to bet on pro sports as well. Should be allowed to gamble on pro sports, pro athletes. So I know what that guy's saying right there. That's where I've got some wiggle room tonight. I don't have, I can't sit here and say, this isn't a big deal if the Oklahoma quarterback tonight labeled sports gambling and was doing sports gambling in 2022. I'm not going to be one of those guys that said, it's not a big deal because just that guy, that example there, those allegations today, that makes it seem when you say it's not a big deal that anybody can now, then you got a guy at Texas thinking, well, I'll bet on, this game in the Big 12 or the SEC or the Big 10. It's a line that you got to be careful to cross. There is a line for me still, but I see can I be a basketball player betting on the Nuggets and Wolves? Can I be a college basketball player and bet on the Nuggets and Wolves? It may not be good for you. It may not be recommended for you, but is it a strict rule that we have to really, really get after? That's the wiggle room today for me. I'm not going to go across the line. Yeah, college athletes can just bet on sports. Just call it good. They could just bet on sports. I can't do that today. But I am a little iffy on how strict it was in the past and trying to hold on to that. We'll get back to this. 605-720-1067 is our number. And the question of the day, how big of a problem do you think we have with college athletes betting on college sports? Is it a big problem? Or they're betting anyway, let it go. 58% of the audience on Twitter right now says they're betting anyway. Who cares? Sam Herder's up next, FCS senior analyst. He just sent out which fan base clicked on the football stories the most so far on his website. So you know what I mean? So FCS football previews are out. He put all of the fan bases up. Which one clicked on the football previews the most? The Jacks? The Bison? Who was it? Sam Herder will start there with Hero Sports coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Mom, can we please go to Watiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Watiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river. City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Watiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WatikiWaterpark.com.
The wait is over. We've begun closing out our 2025 models at Spearfish GMC Cadillac to make room for the 2026 models. Discounts and rebates are great on all 2025 models, but don't wait because stock is limited. New Sierra 1500 up to $67.50 off. Remaining 25 Sierra HDs starting at just $52,630. Plus, just arrived a great selection of the all-new GMC Acadia. Spearfish GMC Cadillac. Online always at spearfishmotors.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. 63 tonight under cloudy skies, winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. 92 tomorrow, slight chance for storms. Lows around 65, tomorrow night mainly clear. Mid-90s Thursday, turning much cooler Friday with highs in the mid-80s and thunderstorms. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 82 degrees.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we are committed to improving the lives of our members and bettering our communities. As your community credit union, we're here to get to know you and your unique needs. From extended service hours to the newest technology, we have you covered. Stop by any location to get started or text or call 605-718-1818. BHFCU is member-owned, not-for-profit, and federally insured by the NCUA.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
It's the Spin and Sail Cruise giveaway, only at Cadillac Jackson Deadwood. Earn just 25 points to qualify. Then keep playing to rack up even more entries. Fridays and Saturdays, we're drawing winners from 8 to 11:30 p.m. for $300 prize packages, with a $1,000 drawing at midnight. Then on Saturday, August 30th, 10 lucky winners will draw for grand prizes, and 4 will win a cruise and a seat in the $1 million Wheel of Fortune Spin and Win slot tournament at sea. Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your night play out?
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show live. Tuesday, we're back and ready. High Energy Tuesday. I had a big gulp today. Are there any more big gulps? I had an extra large Diet Mountain Dew. I mean, I usually have a large, so just so you're aware, you're not like getting me on a bad day. I usually have a large Diet Mountain Dew. It's an extra large Diet Mountain Dew tonight. We're ready. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live with Sam Herder, FCS Senior Analyst. His work is at herosports.com. For the best FCS coverage, this is the guy. I'm telling you. herosports.com. Sam Herder FCS. That's where his X account is. Sam Herder FCS. Sam, good to have you on. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you, as always, for having me on the show.
I appreciate it, man. We're getting close. It's getting close now. Football's officially going. We haven't practiced. We're having team pictures, all that good stuff. We're ready to go. So I'm going to get your read on some of the teams, some of the headlines. I want to go to a tweet that you put out, which I find really interesting. And it kind of ties into what I wanted to ask the audience is, who really has the best fan base in FCS football today? I asked my audience that on social media, and I'm gonna update those poll results. But your tweet was, hey, we do football previews here at Hero Sports, and here's the here's the top viewed FCS football previews for each Google Analytics fan base. And so you were able to find this out, and you kind of listed them out. It doesn't surprise me, like the top 4, but what did you take away from it? I see Montana got the most clicks. Explain that.
Yeah, so pretty much the process is we have our preseason media poll that we released back in late May, and that pretty much determines how I do my team previews, because I just don't have the bandwidth, to preview all 128 teams, and so it's 25 team previews, and then whichever teams receive votes. So in total, I think it's like 32, 33 team previews, and just through our Google Analytics, you can see how many people clicked on each story and how many reads, each one gets. And I've done this in the past of just saying, hey, here are the most read team previews we've done, and it's typically been these same teams here, Montana, NDSU, Montana State, South Dakota State. They've typically been the top 4, and they are pretty basic team previews, and so it's not the end all be all. There could be plenty of South Dakota State fans that didn't read the story because they said, "Hey, I already know all I need to know. About the team. I don't need to read a team preview." So it's not the best gauge, but at the same time, it pretty much adds up with whenever I do a podcast or whenever I tweet about one of these teams or I do an article about one of these teams, the analytics for these top teams in the Valley and the Big Sky far outweigh analytics when it comes to some of the other teams across the FCS.
Yeah, and it's got to be heavily weighted. We know the top-tier programs in FCS football, and there's a gap on the football field, and to me there's a huge gap with the passion of the fans. And so I'm from Montana, Sam. I've seen the Grizz fans for a long time. They've been really passionate. I go back since the 90s, early 90s. And so Montana comes out as the most viewed team preview. I know you say, well, you never quite know because maybe people want to click on Montana and they're from South Dakota State, whatever it is. But Montana comes out number one. How passionate do you think Grizz fans still are today, even though Montana maybe not the powerhouse they were?
Yeah, I think you could probably say they're as passionate as ever. Season tickets continue to go up. I believe they sell those out every year, and their season ticket allotments far outweighs a lot of FBS programs, and so the passion is there. They eat up any content about their team, whether it's locally, regionally, or nationally. And so I think Grizz fans certainly are among, if not the most, just pure passionate fan base in the FCS.
Okay, I'm going to ask you. I asked my audience who's the best fan base. Who's the best fan base? I have a South Dakota sports talk show. The Jacks are winning right now. South Dakota State fans, to you, Sam, here's how I've seen it. They really came along towards the end of Stiglmeyer, the new stadium. They used to not get people at that new stadium when it was first built. The last few years after winning the title, Gronowski, then I felt like this fan base has exploded. What have you seen?
Yeah, how I've described South Dakota State's fan base is they have a maybe the best mix of passion and rationalism, which can be really hard, to come by. Is South Dakota State's fan base, are they as ferociously passionate as, the hardcore NDSU fans or the Montana fans? I don't think so, but are they more reasonable than those two fan base? I would say yes. And you're always going to have a mix within each fan base of some people who are just totally irrational and they just can't see straight when it comes to their favorite teams. But for the most part, the South Dakota State fans I've interacted with online, are pretty reasonable. They're passionate, but they're pretty reasonable. And so I think that is a really good blend to have when it comes to South Dakota State fans. And it's still, a growing fan base. If you kind of look at the macro view, I know South Dakota State's been, at or near the top of the FCS for a while, but at the same time, it's really only been a little more than 10 years since they've had, national FCS success. Before that, it wasn't a whole lot. The D2 days, it wasn't a whole lot. And so there isn't necessarily a generation after generation after generation of South Dakota State football fans that are just super, super passionate. So I still think that is building. Obviously, the regular season attendance has been climbing and has done super well. Playoff crowds, that's obviously always a discussion during December, but overall it's definitely a fan base that they, just like Montana's fan base, they eat up whether it's a tweet, podcast, story, any type of picture or video, anything that has to do with South Dakota State football, they are definitely engaged with it.
Sam Herder put out the 10 most read FCS team previews on his site, herosports.com. The 10 most read, so you can find it there. The top 4 most read team previews, this is for the football season. Montana number 1, North Dakota State 2, Montana State 3, South Dakota State 4. Sam, do you buy into North Dakota State fans being bored? Is there a chunk of fans bored with how much they've won and what's next?
Yeah, I think that is fair to say. I always struggle to kind of come up with, with the best word, because I think bored is fair, but at the same time, maybe that fan base will come back and say, well, we're not necessarily bored. We just want to, move on to the next thing. And that's certainly understandable. I lived in Fargo for a number of years. I've covered NDSU in some capacity since 2012, so I know the fan base well. I know the local media well. I know the overall football program well, and the administrators and coaches and all that. And so while a lot of FCS fans will say, how can you get bored of winning national championships? Like, how can that ever get boring? You just can't put yourself in that situation until you've lived through it. And then for NDSU, I mean, yeah, they're still passionate. Yeah, they want to win. You see them, sell out, the semifinal games, or they still arrive in droves to Frisco. If they make it to Nashville, they'll, fill out that stadium pretty well. And so the passion is there from a week-to-week basis of just wanting to see their team well, or wanting to see their team perform well, how they support them through just, donations, and that type of support has never been stronger. But when you win 10 national titles and you do the whole FCS playoff song and dance year after year after year, and you're routinely at the top, and you've seen some of your top competition move on to the FBS, I don't think you can really blame that fan base for saying, yeah, we're kind of over the FCS. Like, while we're here, yeah, let's keep on winning national titles, but if there's an open window, let's go to the FBS and continue to move this program along. I think that, to me, is a very understandable rationale to have for that fan base.
You just did a poll to your audience, and these polls on Twitter, I do them every day. They're not scientific, I get it, but you put a poll out there saying, which conference is going to have a team go to the FBS next? Like the Big Sky, like UC Davis, or like Missouri Valley, like NDSU? So I think Missouri Valley was what people were voting for. What do you think is the best chance? Like, if you're thinking about the next team to try and get in, I don't know, the Mountain West, is it UC Davis or is it North Dakota State?
Yeah, so that poll, the Big Sky got 39.1% of those votes, and then the Valley got 38.2% chance. So the Big Sky, edged out the Valley a little bit as far as which team will go to the FBS next. It's interesting because I think if you had to put odds on it, I think the UAC would be the odds-on favorite, and they got the least amount of votes just because, Tarleton, when it comes to actual smoke and reporting going on out there, the next FCS to FBS move up, the only reporting out there, I believe, was Pete Thamel saying when he reported that Louisiana Tech was going to be leaving for the Sun Belt. He also reported if Conference USA wants to expand, Tarleton State is most likely going to be that target. And so there's actually reporting out there that Tarleton State is a legit candidate to go to the FBS. There's no reports out there that the Mountain West is targeting UC Davis or North Dakota State or Sacramento State. And so to me, the answer is the UAC. Now, obviously, NDSU fans and Montana State fans probably looked at this poll and said, well, I want to go to the FBS. I'm going to vote for my conference because I want my team. And so, like you said, these polls aren't an exact science. Whether the Mountain West extends an invite to an FCS team or not, we'll see. I know there are some areas on Twitter that thinks it is likely that the Mountain West is going to add some FCS teams. I'm just a little bit skeptical just because I've heard enough to know that Mountain West presidents are turned off at the idea of adding any FCS teams, and if they just want to stay at, I believe 10 members and not divvy up that revenue pot even more, I can see them just standing pat. And so I'm not sure how quickly the Mountain West plans on moving, if at all, on adding any FCS programs.
Okay, so here's the big question of the day for Sam Herder. We've got him, and I'm going to put him on the spot across South Dakota. Who does have the best fan base in FCS football?
Yeah, I think you got to go with Montana. Whether a combination of just passion, supporting their team, engagement, selling out the stadium, definitely having the best home field environment in the FCS, at least in today's age. So I think you got to go with Montana on that one.
Sam Herder's on the record, FCS senior analyst. Good discussion. Follow him at Sam Herder FCS. If you're a football fan, you got to be there. Schedule getting ready to pop. We'll get him on for some previews here at games in a few weeks. HeroSports.com. Until then, Sam, good to have you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate your time. HeroSports.com, FCS senior analyst. That's Sam Herder getting the show going tonight on Fox Sports Radio. Let me ask you that. Throw it out to the South Dakota audience, college football fans. What is the best fan base in FCS football right now? Who has the best fan base in FCS football right now? Be honest. Be honest. Think this through. Think this through. 605-720-1067, the Nate Brown Show text line. 605-720-1067. Send me some votes. What is truly the best fan base in FCS football right now? There's only 4 that have to be in the national race. There's 4 that you can think about. Montana, South Dakota State, fans have really come along. North Dakota State, and I'll put Montana State in there. They used to not sell out games at Montana State. They're rocking up there in Bozeman. Things are rocking now in Bozeman. So 605-720-1067. We'll look at the question of the day coming up. First, we'll go to Brian Noe, national host of Countdown. That's the show every weekend on Fox Sports Radio, and we get Brian Noe on a Tuesday coming up.
This is the Nate Brown.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's time for an upgrade, and don't spend a dime for 2 years. That's right, 0 zip zilch, with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's August 2027. Say goodbye to drafts and outdated design, and hello to our acclaimed replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. Get energy-efficient windows and doors and beautiful upgrades with 0 regrets. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
Teardrop campers on your lot? Yes, you do. We're proud to feature the new SGC Armor line of campers from Bontrager Outdoors. Bang for the buck, there's just nothing out there like these new super cool Armor campers and Bontrager teardrops. And the suspension these campers have? Wow, so impressive. All our campers come standard with the off-road package. Bontrager and Armor just ramped boondocking up another notch. And right now, you'll get the best price all year on these 2026 ultra-light, ultra-beefy, option-loaded campers and teardrops. You gotta check out these new look campers, people. The new designs are fantastic, and so many options for their size. And so many options for towing. No need for a diesel or a big truck. These only weigh around 1,500 to 2,000 pounds, so they can be towed by almost any rig. Check out these new 2026 Bontrager and SGC Armor campers, everyone. See AnytimeAnytime.com, and as always at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
This is the Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to the Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. You can watch us live on X. Welcome in on our live stream at Nate Brown Show. Follow the show and watch us live every afternoon on X at Nate Brown Show. I'm wearing my Indiana Fever shirt today. Am I the only guy in South Dakota wearing an Indiana Fever shirt repping Caitlin Clark today? Am I? I hope not. Brian Noe is on tonight. Countdown host on Fox Sports Radio. Every weekend you can hear him right here and counting down to kickoff, man. Brian, welcome back on. How are you?
I'm good, Nate. Always great to be with you. How about you rocking out the double deuce Caitlin Clark jersey? I like that. Very nice.
Well, it's Indiana Fever shirt. I don't have the Caitlin Clark jersey. My kids have that. But I got the shirt because I'm gonna support the team. I don't want to be accused of being a Caitlin Clark bandwagoner. So, if you were taking bets from Las Vegas, am I the only guy in South Dakota today wearing an Indiana Fever T-shirt?
Wow, dude, that is a great question. I will say you are not alone.
Whoa,
I will say there is someone somewhere that's fired up for the Fever to take on the Wings tonight, and they're rocking either a Fever T-shirt, a jersey of Caitlin Clark, a jersey shirt. You know, those are sometimes popular.
Yes.
I'll say someone somewhere is rocking Fever gear today.
I started thinking not in South Dakota. We got a small population, but I think you're right. I think there's somebody out there channeling me. Okay, I'm good. I'm not in a bad spot. Brian Noe is on tonight. Okay, here's one thing I want to get in, Brian. You do a lot of sports betting analysis, and I talk to you about breaking down games. I do sports betting, BetMGM Sportsbook in Deadwood. It's our headquarters. So I get the thing. I enjoy it, entertainment, and the whole thing. I'm in this college sports landscape now, and I don't know if this story is wacky. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's what it is. But the Oklahoma quarterback, John Mattick, today had to say, I haven't bet on sports, even though the Venmo transactions reference sports gambling from 2022. I didn't do that. It was an inside joke. It was an inside joke with my buddies. So I'm going to ask you this. Where are we at in 2025 with college athletes betting on sports? It's a big no-no. Where are we at in the public?
Wow. Well, that's pretty interesting with Mattick just transferring over there. And I love that. Like, yeah, that's the new thing. You label things, Nate, like if you went to dinner at KFC or something with buddies, you just label that sports betting transaction. You know, that really means KFC. That's right. Come on, man. Like, we weren't born yesterday, but as long as he's not doing it today, I don't know that you would go back in the archives and penalize him. But that's the thing, Nate, is it's just this trend where, I mean, think how many examples there are of athletes that think they're going to get away with something, whether it's Jonte Porter, who's the brother of Michael Porter Jr. and who's guilty of sin, and we've got telegram receipts. He's having a whole conversation with these dudes that have got their hooks in them and all this stuff. You know, there's Luis Ortiz, Emmanuel Clase, where it's the micro bets and it's the first pitch that looks so shady, and now there's a full-blown investigation. Malik Beasley, the list goes on and on and on. But the point is, there are so many athletes that just have this mentality of, I'll probably be fine. I probably won't get busted. And they're getting busted, Nate. So I hope that's not the case with Mattick. And if he was sports betting, which I'm almost positive he was, a couple of years ago, hopefully that is a thing of the past, because I'm here to tell you, Nate, if you think you can get away with, I'm going to bet $10 here or there and no one cares, they're going to find out and you're going to get busted sooner or later. It's happening. They track your phone. They know where you're at. It's the whole thing. So it's better to stay away if you're an athlete these days. Okay, so here's the big question to me. I've seen a lot of people online today, and I know that's not always real life, but I'm seeing a lot of people say, this is what we're worried about in college sports, is if guys are like making a bet or the Venmo transactions. And
it sounds like people are like, hey, there's so much going on in college sports, $1 million deals and transfer portal and all this stuff. We don't need to be worrying about college athletes betting on sports. I worked at a university years ago. That was like the big talk to our athletes in the athletic department. It was a huge talk. Do not do this. What I'm asking is it, have we moved in society? There's 40 states where it's legal to bet on sports or more. Can the cross-country runner bet on Texas, Ohio State to open the football season? Have we moved as a society, or is that still, no, you just can't do that if you're a college athlete?
Well, I'm of the belief, and some might disagree with this, but I think, as long as you're not betting on your specific sport, you should be able to have at it just like everybody else is. Like your example, the cross-country runner, how does that have any influence whatsoever if they're betting whatever amount it is? Could be $20, could be something significant, thousands and thousands of dollars. How does that have any significance on a college football game? If there's some sort of college football player betting on a college football game, that is a gigantic no-no. So that's where I would disagree with some of your listeners, if that's what they're saying. Like, that is a big deal. We have to believe that what we're watching in sporting events is real, and it's not doctored, and athletes aren't, hey, take under 5.5 rebounds, and they just have 5 rebounds, and it's like, it's okay. No, you can't have anything like that, because it can lead to far worse, and it can lead to the results not being real. But I think, like your example, man, like a college football player, if he's betting on the NFL or NBA, great, have at it. Hopefully your parlays hit, but as long as they're not betting on their own sport, that's kind of the NFL thing, right? Like, they'll let you bet on everything else. They just don't want you to bet at the facility, which I think is stupid, too. I just think that's putting a hurdle in front of yourself. So I can cross the street and bet, but if I make that same bet in the locker room, it's a no-no. That's just stupid to me. I think that's unnecessary, and I think it creates headlines where it's just in your face all the time. Another player gets popped for betting. Another player gets popped for betting. Why would you want that as a league? So I would get rid of the headquarters thing, but the NFL, they let you bet on everything, just not the NFL if you're a player.
Okay, so college sports right now, the NCAA still holds to the firm. It's a huge no-no. If you're a golfer, you're a swimmer, you can't bet on the Buckeyes in Texas to open the year. Here's the devil's advocate on that, and I'm with you on this. I'm starting to shift. Like, I don't want college athletes betting on sports because I just, you got to be careful with this. I bet on Ohio State, Texas. Well, hey, that worked out pretty good. I'm a cross-country runner. Maybe I could bet on this race or whatever. Baseball player. Let's use one that you can actually bet on. I might be able to get a little bit here. So it opens the door to, well, I won in football and basketball. Maybe I should do baseball, my own sport.
Well, I mean, yeah, you always run that risk, but that's the thing is you could play that game with anything. You're of age to drink in this country really young. And so, hey, maybe you go to a frat party and you bend a couple elbows, but nothing crazy. And, wow, that was fun. I'm going to do keg stands next time. You always run a risk with many things as a young college kid, a teenager. But I don't think sports betting is like so dangerous and so evil that it makes everything pale in comparison. I just look at it where there's risk all over the place, and as long as you're not blowing it out of proportion, and you're not, okay, we'll use your example. You're the cross country runner again. Hey, I bet on Texas and Ohio State. Man, I won. I'm hot. Let me bet on the baseball team. And hey, as long as you're not talking to the baseball players and saying, "Hey, man, I got a nickel on you. I got one large on you." Just take a dive this game. Just come on. As long as it doesn't progress to that, as long as you're just betting, I have zero issue with it whatsoever myself.
Very interesting. Brian Noah is on tonight. He is host of Countdown on Fox Sports Radio. Glad to have him here on South Dakota Sports Talk Show on a Tuesday hitter. My question of the day, how big of a problem do you think we have with college athletes betting on college sports? 57% of my audience says they're betting anyway. Who cares anymore? Okay, let's go to the NFL, Brian. Talking some ball. I went out yesterday and said the national media can't get away with wanting to kill Shedeur Sanders. We wanted to kill him, and then he played well Friday, and then everyone's like, well, yeah, I don't know, he did fine, but he's still cocky, and let's do it again. I want to see if he fails now the next time. I think he's a good player, and our judgment is clouded by his arrogance, his flash, his whole thing. Can we say he's a good player or not?
Well, I don't know if the haters can say it, Nate. That's the thing, man, is this guy, it's crazy. If you think about it, Nate, he's a fifth-round pick. Now, we know he's much more talented than that, and he should have gone higher. But at the end of the day, he's a fifth-round pick who is the story of rookie quarterbacks. And meanwhile, Cam Ward, who is the number 1 overall pick, is a total afterthought. No one cares about this guy at all. He is not a story whatsoever. It's just, when can you say that ever in the history of the NFL, that the number 1 overall pick is a non-story and a fifth rounder is the story? But here's where we are with Shedeur. And I agree with you, man. It's one of these deals where I don't understand why the dislike is so strong. If you didn't know anything about Shedeur and you were just going based on the hater comment, you'd be like, man, Shedeur sounds like a maniac. Like, what's his deal? What's he done wrong? It's like, well, he's flashy. He celebrates a little bit. He's kind of got like this wristwatch dance that he does. And I'd be like, that's it? That's all we got? Yep, that's pretty much. Oh, and he speeds. So there's that. Wow, I don't understand all the animosity, but man, there are a lot of people. I think this, Nate, my 2 cents, don't let like or dislike destroy your opinions. That's what I would say, because there are a lot of people with Shedeur that dislike him strongly or like him strongly. And both sides make a lot of comments that are really dumb. I would just put that like or dislike to the side for a little bit, be as objective as possible, evaluating the guy. Don't go ballistic because he had one really good preseason outing. Like, this is going to be the next big thing. Let's give it a little bit of time. And the dislike, man, before he was drafted, there were people hitting me up saying, oh, this guy, he's not even accurate. He's not tough. I'm like, what are you talking about? If you watch him at Colorado, his offensive line sucked. He completes 74% of his passes. He's tough as nails. Like, we're just making stuff up. So I've heard a lot of people make up a lot of stuff, and I think it's born out of that like or dislike for Shedeur. You got to check that. You got to make sure that is not destroying your opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you on it. Totally. That'll be interesting. That Friday night game was good, and I wonder if what are the Browns going to do? It'll be interesting. Brian Noe is on tonight. Follow him at The Noe Show. That's where he's at. Interact with him on X and listen to him here on Fox Sports Radio every weekend. The show is Countdown with him and the crew. Brian, always good. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Nate. And I will say, anybody that's tweeting me today, tweet your Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark gear, getting ready for game night, so we can verify this, right, Nate? We'll do a little South Dakota experiment tonight real fast.
I would like that. Good luck. We're trying to find if anybody in South Dakota is wearing an Indiana Fever T-shirt or a Caitlin Clark shirt or whatever. I think I may be the only one today. Brian Noe says not. Okay, I got it. I got it going on. I think I may be the only one, but you can give me some evidence if you have it out there. In Sioux Falls, in Rapid City, who's wearing an Indiana Fever shirt or Caitlin Clark jersey outside of me, Nate Brown? I'm repping strong today. All right. Let's go to the best fan base in FCS football right now. That's my question of the day for the South Dakota audience. Would you say South Dakota State has come along? Who has the best fan base in FCS football in the country? There's only 4 schools you can really put up there. There's one that I'm going to choose next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic Park scratch ticket from the South Dakota Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $50,000 instantly. And if that weren't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. So get down to your local lottery retailer today and welcome to Jurassic Park. Must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly.
Hey, Sioux Falls sports fans, there's a great new sports bar in Sioux Falls, Boston's Restaurant and Sports Bar on West Russell Street in the Ramada Water Park Hotel. If you want to watch games, UFC, they've got it, wall-to-wall TVs, and the best part, great food. Gourmet pizza at Boston's, tons of wing options, great burgers, and a lot more. Bring the family, bring the team, bring your crew to the new Boston's Restaurant and Sports Bar in Sioux Falls on West Russell Street. Plus, you can order online for lunch or dinner. Just go to bostons.com.
Host your next big event at the Box Elder Event Center, now featuring all new lighting, enhanced sound, and cutting-edge AV. Your destination for conventions, conferences, weddings, tournaments, concerts, and private parties of all kinds. Plus, their gourmet catering isn't just for on-site events, they'll deliver straight to you. Don't miss the Pickle Boo Pickleball Tournament October 24th to 26th, and Fall Hoop Fest November 7th to 9th. Learn more and book today at thebox.live.
There's summer, and then there's Murphy's in the summer. Nothing beats it. The food, the drinks, the atmosphere. Whether you're soaking up sunshine on the patio or hanging inside with friends, Murphy's brings the good vibes all season long. Amazing food, cold beers, summer cocktails, live music on the patio, a crew that treats you right, and yes, even a late-night menu every Friday and Saturday night. When you're thinking summer in Rapid City, there's only one move, Murphy's. Visit murphyspubandgrill.com. Murphy's, a Rapid City icon.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. 63 tonight, under cloudy skies, winds out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. 92 tomorrow, slight chance for storms. Lows around 65, tomorrow night, mainly clear. Mid-90s, Thursday, turning much cooler, Friday, with highs in the mid-80s and thunderstorms. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 82 degrees.
If you're in the market for a vehicle right now, you probably have noticed it's sometimes hard to find the right one. That's where Summit Automotive Group steps in. Stacy and Matt and their staff working hard to get a great selection of pre-owned vehicles at affordable prices. At Summit Automotive, they have a different outlook on selling you a vehicle. You'll experience stress-free shopping, friendly, honest service with no high-pressure sales gimmicks. Before you buy, drop by East Highway 44, summitautogrp.com.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in your sports, your show. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show, Tuesday edition of the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Radio. Second hour ready to go. Hang on. We'll go out to Williamsport tonight. Going to get an update from the Sioux Falls Little League. Head coach Ryan Vavruska. He is on tonight from Williamsport. Sioux Falls Little League has made it again back-to-back years. They've got a team out of Philly. Yeah, hometown. Little Pennsylvania advantage there in Williamsport. They got a team just outside of Philly. They play Mid-Atlantic Thursday night. So we'll get an update on Sioux Falls Little League out at Williamsport, Little League World Series. Craig Mattick's coming up. East River meets West River. A lot to discuss with Craig tonight. South Dakota Sports Live. He's with SDPB. I wonder if Craig has the answer to the question of the day. I don't know. I've got the answer, though. I've got it. I've asked you, college football fans in South Dakota, here on the program, what is truly the best fan base in FCS football right now? Now, I'm going to break this down a little bit. South Dakota State has to have a case. I can't pick the Jacks right now. I got to be fair. Got to be fair and balanced on the Nate Brown Show. South Dakota State's fan base has exploded in the last 5 years. So we've been doing this show for a while. We used to look at this and say, even some of the regular season games after the first couple, the crowd would dwindle years ago. You had this new stadium come online. It's like, we got to get fans here. And Coach Stig would come on the show and say, you got to make a difference. We need you there. And they kept that up. And now you see sellouts. You see big crowds at regular season SDSU games. A ton of them. Like deep into the season. You used to not see that. So South Dakota State winning national championships, that's put them at another level. The fan base is now consistent. It does fall off in December because the kids leave and it's cold and that playoff thing, you just can't figure it out. That's a lot of FCS teams, though. But there is a fan base up north. North Dakota State would say, we sell out the Fargo Dome. I mean, this place is ruckus. There's no better support. We have all of the support financially, and the fan base is huge. And we were the first ones on College Game Day, and we have the biggest fan base across the country. Well, they're up there. North Dakota State's up there. South Dakota State's up there. Montana State is up there. They're not with NDSU, not long enough at Montana State. Bozeman's going, though. Really growing market. And Bozeman Stadium, they redid that a few years ago, and it's packed. So Montana State has a real deal fan base. Real deal. There's three: South Dakota State, North Dakota State, Montana State. Real deal. The one that surpasses, and it's not getting votes on the show tonight, because I think a lot of folks in South Dakota maybe haven't experienced it. I have, and it's Washington Grizzly Stadium on a college football Saturday in Montana. I've seen FCS football be on the level, it feels like, of like SEC football. I'm serious. I've been to Georgia. So I went to a game a long time ago. You remember a guy named Champ Bailey? Yeah, I might remember Quincy Carter. They had this team in Georgia. I went to a game in Georgia years ago, Between the Hedges, and SEC football, man, it is a religion. They say that. It is. Montana Grizzly football in Missoula, FCS, I know it's a different level. There wasn't much difference there. The place is wild. The fans across the whole state. The brand is unbelievably strong, and it's been like that since the 90s. Montana Grizzly football's been selling out. It's been going crazy since the 90s, and they're not even as good as South Dakota State, North Dakota State, even Montana State, really. But the fans are just off the charts. It's a statewide thing from one end of Montana to the other. And Montana State's made inroads. The Montana Grizzlies, that game day atmosphere, I would put up there with almost, a ton of FBS atmospheres. I've been to some FBS good atmospheres. Ohio State, I've been there. Georgia, I've been there. I'm not telling you it's at 95,000 fans. I get it. But for what they've got, that place for football is really, really good. Really, really good. So to me, Montana's got to win the best fan base in FCS football still today. And if you haven't seen it, I would go to Montana, a Montana Grizzly game. I would try and go sometime. Great town, Missoula, great place. Montana Grizzly football on a college football Saturday is off the charts. Off the charts. So who are people voting for on the Nate Brown Show? Who has truly the best fan base at FCS football right now? It's my question of the day for you. 52% have checked in with South Dakota State. We're going homers. No, and I will say the growth of the Jacks fans and the game atmosphere in Brookings and stuff is tenfold what it used to be. I mean, it's good now. 52% South Dakota State best fan base. 27% say North Dakota State. 16% voting Montana. No. Should flip that around. It should be like 61% or more. It's Montana still today. They are wild up there. And if they ever get really, really good again, I mean, they're competitive, but if they ever get really, really good again, it's one of the hardest tickets to get. It's a hard ticket to get. They pack that place. It's loud. It echoes up against the mountains. It's good stuff, man. Let's get into the second hour on the Nate Brown Show tonight. I have some baseball fans listening to the program, right? Some baseball fans. So I've got two questions I'm going to ask about baseball. Is there a player that we're watching that is already the best of all time? The best of all time. That's a big statement. That's not just a hot take. That wasn't said by me. It was said by a Major League Baseball analyst today. We'll get into that. And by the way, who has it worse? We're finally going to answer it. The Twins or the Rockies? Next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's time for an upgrade, and don't spend a dime for 2 years. That's right, 0 zip zilch, with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's August 2027. Say goodbye to drafts and outdated design, and hello to our acclaimed replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. Get energy-efficient windows and doors and beautiful upgrades with zero regrets. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps 1 minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
BLDR.com. That's BLDR.com. Builders for Source. Build it.
Hi, I'm Bill at Wire for USA. If you're looking for internet, TV, security systems, or cell booster systems, why would you look at a company that only gives you one choice for each of these systems? Wire for USA offers it all. Viasat, Hughes, CenturyLink, Dish TV, DirecTV, Wilson cell booster systems, and now Starlink and EchoStar internet systems. Starlink and EchoStar are the newest, the fastest, and the strongest satellite internet made. No limit, no contract. Wire for USA has it. Call 605-341-5361. Whatever your home or business needs are, call Wire for USA for the products and the service. You don't need training wheels with our system. Connect to the future with Wire for USA at 605-341-5361. We are hometown, we are South Dakota, and we do appreciate your business. 605-341-5361. See us at our new location, 710 North La Crosse Street in Rapid City.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
Welcome back in. Second hour, just getting going. You've made it on a Tuesday into the drive home on the Nate Brown Show, South Dakota Sports Talk Show here on Fox Sports Radio. Thanks for being here. Stream us on X. If you're on the app, you can watch the show on your phone at Nate Brown Show. Follow us and watch us live at Nate Brown Show. One more reminder, if you missed some of the live show, you can't catch all 2 hours. We try and give you good content each time out. Some guests across the board from high school to college to the pros. We don't record stuff, just play it back. We want new content, so you might miss some of the show, like the first hour. Go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. Every guest, every show is there. Search the Nate Brown Show, and you've got us on the podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, really wherever you get your podcast. Search the Nate Brown Show, and you've got us. Live guests coming up. Craig Mattick, East River meets West River. The Craig hitter from SDPB, straight ahead. A lot of South Dakota sports news I want to hit with him. And out to Williamsport tonight. Little League World Series getting fired up this week. Thursday night, Sioux Falls Little League plays Mid-Atlantic. What's the Mid-Atlantic team? It's a team just outside of Philly. So Pennsylvania's got a team in this thing in Williamsport, and Sioux Falls has to play them. So they've got a tough one. That's tough sledding. Pennsylvania and Maryland make up Mid-Atlantic. So it's like, yeah, that's tough, man. We'll see where it goes. Ryan Vavruska is the head coach of the Sioux Falls Little Leaguers. He's coming up live from Williamsport tonight. Speaking of baseball, let's go to some baseball topics. It's time. I mean, we're going to be heavy football. We're heavy this, we're heavy that. We're going to do some baseball love. I know the consultants don't like the baseball talk, but I'm gonna go to something here. There's a guy named Ben Verlander. Ben Verlander is a Fox Sports Major League Baseball analyst. If you've listened to this program, we get him on. We get Ben on. Ben, if you're listening, we want you on. Ben Verlander said this: Shohei Ohtani is now the greatest baseball player of all time. It's settled. He struck out 8 batters in 4 innings and destroyed an Oppo homer the same day. He homers for the 42nd time last night. Shohei Ohtani is the MVP, and Shohei Ohtani is already the greatest of all time. Baseball fans unite. Here on the Nate Brown Show, baseball opinion. I know there's baseball fans out there. It's a big statement. I mean, we can't ever get over who's the greatest basketball player of all time. It's Michael Jordan. Okay, let's not steer off course. Shohei Ohtani, you can say right now, is the best baseball player of all time. Does Ben Verlander have a point? Ben Verlander, I love having Ben on the show. We'll get him. We're trying to track him down, as a matter of fact. Busy time for him, I understand. But we get him. And Ben's brothers, Justin Verlander, they've been in the game a long time. He's convinced, and he's been a Shohei Ohtani fan for a long time. Ben's out in L.A. at Fox Sports. He's been a Shohei Ohtani fan for a long time. Is this fandom, or is he actually correct? And then I actually want to say, you guys, if anybody's biased out there, who is the best baseball player of all time? Like, is there somebody that's settled that I need to have on my list that's the best baseball player, no doubt, of all time? So, people go way back. Well, of course, it's Babe Ruth. It's Babe Ruth. He did the pitching and hitting thing. The legend of Babe Ruth. Well, if you're really looking at best player and the homers and all that, it's Barry Bonds. I mean, it's Pete Rose, best baseball player of all time. You tell me if there's anybody on the list, because Ben Verlander's saying, no, for what he does, how he's pitching and he's hitting at this level, 42 homers this year for Ohtani, and he's back to pitching. This is settled. He's the greatest of all time. So we're watching in 2025. It's hard to say this because it's like, wait, this is just a player? I mean, yeah, he does this stuff. Athletes are better today. So, yeah, I mean, we just kind of expect this stuff. But he's at another level, as Ben Verlander is saying. He's the best baseball player of all time. It's settled. We're watching it right now. Do you believe that? Give me your read on that, 605-720-1067. I'm a baseball fan. I'm not a baseball researcher. Like, I can't go back through and say, well, no, this number and this and that, and because of this, Shohei Ohtani's pitching at this level and hitting at this level. Here's the only way I would stop Ben Verlander from saying that right now. Can Shohei Ohtani continue this the rest of his career? Pitching enough, the 8 strikeouts the other night, can he continue the two-way play? If he continues it for I don't know however long, probably going to be talking about that. I would just say to Ben Verlander, my buddy, I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say that yet. It's kind of like when Tom Brady was playing. We couldn't quite say it. Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. Well, it still sounds bad coming out of my mouth. But I have enough respect for his what he's done to say I don't think there's anybody else that you can put that name on in the NFL. I'm settled on Michael Jordan, and I'll be on my deathbed saying that. So don't even go there with LeBron James and whoever else. But the baseball one, to me, I have a harder time with because everybody has the records, and, well, this guy hitting record and home run record and the whole thing. But two-way, does he have to go his whole career? I would say to be the best of all time, he has to, because that makes him stand out more than anyone else. Listener text, Ohtani's great. I'm not sure he's the greatest. There's too much history to issue a blanket statement like that. Okay, I get that. That's right. I caution Ben Verlander. He says Ohtani's the greatest baseball player of all time. To me, not yet. Is there anybody else that wants to argue about my greatest of all times? Tom Brady? I'm not a Tom Brady fanboy. He's the greatest. Michael Jordan's the greatest. Anybody else tonight? You want to come at it? Bring it. Craig Mattick, will he agree? He's old school. SDPB Sports, Craig Mattick talking some South Dakota sports coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At Ace, your backyard is right in our backyard. So when you need to feed your grass, remove the weeds, or wrangle those leaves, go to the best place that delivers on top brands like Ego, Toro, and Steel. No warehouse store can match the convenience of your locally owned neighborhood Ace. So stop on by. You can also order online for curbside pickup or get what you need delivered. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their lawn care. At participating stores.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Shop the Black Hills' best selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, plus GM certified pre-owned at Danny Manhole Rapid Chevrolet. Shop over 350 used cars, trucks, and sport utilities, and buy with no money down, and make no payments for 90 days with qualified credit. All credit apps accepted. Choose from Chevys, GMCs, Rams, Fords, imports, and more. Over 350 of them. You could buy with no down and no payments for 90 days. See us at Danny Manhole Rapid Chevrolet or DannyManholeRapidChevrolet.com.
Football season is almost here, and we're throwing a huge kickoff party in the BetMGM Sportsbook at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort. Thursday, September 4th is the official start to pro football action, and we'll have games, prizes, great food, cold drinks, and even the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Enjoy the BetMGM Sportsbook with wall-to-wall televisions, comfortable and spacious seating, and personal live audio streamed right to your phone. Kick off your season right with the BetMGM Sportsbook at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort, where it's always game on.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly cloudy skies tonight with a low of 64. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Slight chance for storms tomorrow, 92. Tomorrow night, 65. Daytime highs approaching 94. Thursday, under mainly clear skies. 85. Friday, slight chance for storms. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 83 degrees.
Imagine this, a bank that is committed to you, that understands your needs, your values, and your growth. No more settling for the status quo. Pioneer Bank and Trust offers tailored solutions, innovative services, and a team of experts dedicated to your success. You deserve more attention and more support from your bank. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is live tonight, Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Glad you're here. Appreciate you being a part of the program, making this show possible, really. Appreciate that. Ryan Vavruska is coming up. He's the head coach, Sioux Falls Little League. We've got him tonight from Williamsport. What's going on in Williamsport? They had a parade tonight. All the teams, all that stuff. I've never been to Williamsport, Pennsylvania. There's been plenty of South Dakota teams there now. Rapid City a few times. Sioux Falls 4 times now. Wow. Ryan Vavruska is the head coach this year of the Sioux Falls Little Leaguers. He's coming up. Craig Mattick's on from SDPB. His podcast, he's getting ready to work on some. I mean, summer's over, Craig, so it's time to get to work. His podcast is in play. Craig, welcome back on. How are you?
I'm great. My workouts have continued throughout the summer. I have not laid off like others might do.
I know, you're just tough. You are tough.
Yes.
By the way, I have to ask you an NFL question. I never thought this would come up. Who is the greatest NFL player of all time in Craig Mattick's book? Who's the greatest of all time?
What would qualify for greatest? Is it titles? Is it records?
Well, that's
is it
you.
longevity?
I'm asking you. I mean, I got one guy that's the greatest of all time. You just have to put him there. It's Tom Brady. I'm not a Tom Brady fan.
Brady certainly would be in the same breath. I mean, you look at the Walter Paytons, and you look at other offensive stalwarts. Anybody on the defensive side? Probably not. We're always looking offense, aren't we?
Yeah,
certainly Brady with his Super Bowls probably would be right up there.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure I've got some Joe Montanas coming in. Joe Montana.
Well, he was until Tom Brady came around.
I think that's right. I mean, Montana got those titles, and then Brady surpassed it. I mean, you just can't touch 7 Super Bowl titles. It's something. Okay. Let's get to the South Dakota sports side of things. I want to start with this and get your thoughts. More and more Division II conferences are now doing pay-per-view deals with their online streamers. So the RMAC just announced that they're going to have pay-per-view now for all of their games. Northern Sun's not there yet, but they do postseason pay-per-view. There's this company going around. There's Division II conferences that they're signing deals with, and it's pay-per-view. I'm asking the audience, is that going to be the right call? To me, it's not, but what do you say?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough go. There's still a lot of people. People aren't paying for newspapers, right? I mean, people aren't. I mean, there's subscriptions with newspapers. People aren't doing that, and for the most part, people are not doing the per play thing. I know Minnesota for their high school events, state tournaments, they do pay per view. In South Dakota, certainly South Dakota, I just don't see that being very successful. I really don't. For the Northern Sun, the best thing that they do is not charge for their fan bases. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. I just don't think nationally it's going to be anything that is a new trend coming your way.
Here's where I'm at on it. I did fundraising for an athletic department, and so I connected with alumni all over the country, Phoenix, Houston, all over. They watched the games because it was a free online stream, and it kept them connected to the university. Division II athletic departments really need support, and they think they're going to get a portion of these funds, and that's what the deal is. It's like, well, we'll get some revenue. That's going to pale in comparison. I think we're not seeing the big picture. That's my read.
What they should be doing is, they, like the Northern Sun, you offer the free stream, but you go out and sell the ads that appear on those game sites and the websites that the folks are going to watch those games.
Yeah. No, I mean, that'd be the way to do it. So I don't know if all the ADs were, they have to vote for this stuff in the RMAC. And so the RMAC just announced they're going to go pay-per-view for all athletic events, volleyball, basketball, football. I don't like it. I don't think it's going to help out the D2 universities. It must just be tight. How tight do you think it is at D2 sports for an athletic budget?
It is very tight. It is so tight that I am surprised that a lot of these D2 programs have the number of programs that they have. I'm just surprised that, even like Augustana, what do they have, 13 men, 13 women's sports, a lot of double-digit sports, a lot of these D2 schools have. You just wonder why they have so many, because it does cost a lot of money.
Craig Mattick on tonight talking South Dakota Sports SDPB. He's with them, longtime broadcaster. His podcast is In Play. So I had you on last week, but right before this story broke, the 8 newspapers in Wyoming that shut down, and then 4 in South Dakota. So the Brookings Register, for example, how can Brookings not have a local newspaper, Craig?
I think it all comes down to, it happens in radio and it happens in TV as well, where you get a owner that owns multiple sites, multiple newspapers, multiple radio stations, multiple TV stations. There's a ton of companies out there that have they own a bunch of these outlets. And I think what happens is they lose track of what happens locally. Like the Argus Leader here in Sioux Falls, for a long time, that paper was printed in Des Moines, in Iowa, and ownership kind of fell off on what is really happening in Sioux Falls. What is happening in this town? I think that's what happened in Brookings. Unless you have local ownership, and you are a prime example of that, Mr. Brown, is you are the guy that calling the shots for this station and for what's happening to your listeners. You have the local pace on what's going on, and so you know what is happening, and hopefully you run that business that way, where sometimes the local owner, the national ownership, they lose track of the small towns, the smaller municipalities, and eventually it just goes bye-bye, because it is surprising that in Huron and Brookings, that they don't have a local newspaper. But again, the track of newspaper business has been going down the tubes for a long time.
But here's where you're right on that. If I own 30 stations, and there's a music, there's a here, and I got a sports station, and it's like, well, we'll see who's doing the best. Let's look at the bottom line. And so if I have 30 newspapers, like this company had, I see Brookings as the same as Lusk, Wyoming. I made that point. It's like, they're not the same, but on the spreadsheet, it's like, well, I'm not going to carve out one and sell that to somebody. I'm trying to sell all of these, or we're going to shut this down. Do you think Brookings can make a comeback? I'm hearing people are like, hey, there's some interest here. The editor up there is like, we might be able to do something. Brookings has South Dakota State, Brookings High School. That's a 25,000 population community. Can you make a comeback there in the news business?
They might be able to out of the chute, but how are they going to do it? Are they going to request that it's going to be a pay-per-view where you got to pay to read the news? Because that particular business model is not working very well in a number of towns. So I don't know. It's one of those where if someone in Brookings believes that they know the city, they know the community, they know what's happening in the sports world and the news world, and if they work hard at it, they could probably make it. But I just don't know if there's someone there that will do it.
Okay, I want to go now with Craig Mattick to the big question. There is sports gambling going on in all of these states. Ooh. And
how many wins for the Vikings this year? Is that what you're asking?
Not quite. Hang on. We'll get to that.
Okay. All right.
I want to know if you think college athletes should be able to bet on sports. Not their own sport, but right now the NCAA has held firm on this long-time rule, no betting at all. I'm a swimmer, and I can't bet on Texas and Ohio State. Are we, in 2025, is that an archaic rule?
We cannot have athletes at any level being able to bet on any of their sports.
Any sports? Any?
Well, I'm not saying any sport, the sport that they're involved with.
Oh, okay. The NCAA says
if you're
any
a swimmer,
sports.
you can't be, betting on the swim team, either if it's yours or it's not yours. I mean, you can't do that. I know they're trying to get it where you can't bet on anything if you're an athlete.
Yes.
Nothing, and I'm not so sure on that one. I think it's more of you can't be betting on the sport that you're involved with.
Okay, I think that's where I'm at with you. But right now, the NCAA is holding firm. You can't bet on any sports. Zero as a college athlete. And I used to work at a university, and that was our big thing. You cannot bet on sports. It's an NCAA violation. And so do you think the public is saying, hey, the way this has changed over the years, it's probably okay for the golfer to bet on a college football game at Iowa? Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that. Remember, the NCAA wouldn't allow you to pay a meal to a lacrosse player because maybe they were down and out and you wanted to take them out for lunch. You couldn't do that.
No, you need to evolve a little bit.
Yes, I think so.
I don't like college athletes betting on sports either. I don't, and I don't know how you track this. Like, oh, well, you can't bet on your sport. Well, okay. But we're going to let them bet on other sports. It's harder than it sounds, but I'm with you on that. By the way, Craig Mattick, will you be buying? I want to know your sports viewing habits. You're a guy that says, hey, you might turn this on, might turn that on. Are you a streamer now? Have you joined the 2025 age where you and Matt Kearney are streaming everything?
Well, Matt and I are brothers. Very much, because we do a lot. We think a lot the same. We do a lot the same.
Okay.
It's amazing that it's not surprising that Matt is successful as he is because what he's doing.
Following your lead.
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Do you
streaming?
Do you stream? Yes. Do you stream?
I do stream.
Well, there's a new bundle coming out, so break out the checkbook. ESPN and Fox.
I'm watching closely, and the whole ESPN Plus thing in the NFL.
Yeah.
Who knows where that's going to go? I don't buy the NFL Sunday ticket. I don't do that because I'm gone almost every other weekend at a Vikings game, and so that means I'd miss out on the NFL Sunday ticket every other weekend. So I don't buy that one.
Okay, well, you can buy it's Fox is teaming up with ESPN for a new streaming bundle. So if you buy it, then you get everything that Fox has and everything that ESPN has. You know what that's called?
Are they covering the WNBA with Caitlin Clark?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And you know what that's called?
That one.
That's called TV. I have it still. I have it. It's really easy. It used to be called cable, where we used to have all of this?
I'm not paying a lot. I need to know what the rates are going to be and what is available, and I got to see that first before I'm going to jump in.
$40 a month. You used to be able to get internet for less than that. Good luck. Well, you and Matt can stream everything from here on out. Craig Mattick on tonight. SDPB Sports. I know some in-plays are getting ready to go, Craig. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. I appreciate it, Nate. See you around.
Thanks a lot. Craig Mattick on tonight. SDPB, sports broadcaster from Sioux Falls. He's now a streamer. He's a streamer. I'm going to start calling you guys streamers. I'm a streamer, too. Give me a break. But here's what I've been arguing. You're going to be doing all this ESPN Fox bundle, and you have it on your TV. You had it. We had it, Jimmy. And then you let it go to the streamers, and now they got you again. So now we got cable because we got to have certain games. Now we got to go from app to app. So here on the ESPN Fox bundle, get this. ESPN Fox is coming out with their own streaming bundle. They're partnering for the first time ever. I have to get into ESPN's app and watch something. And then when I want to watch the other game, I have to get out. I have to get into the Fox One app. Even though they're bundled together, they don't work seamlessly. You're going to have to go from one to the other. That's called changing the channels. It took me 1 second. Now it's going to take me 1 minute. And I'm going to lose my mind. We might have a more discussion on this tomorrow with Rob Kegron. Rob Kegron's going to be here tomorrow on a special Wednesday happy hour on the Nate Brown Show. So we might have fun with this. Rob Kegron on a Wednesday happy hour tomorrow. But first, hey, a lot to do. Let's go to Williamsport tonight. You've been waiting for Sioux Falls Little League to make their debut. The Little League World Series, back-to-back years. They're playing Thursday night. Their head coach is Ryan Vavruska, and he's coming up live.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Save big money on new siding.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's time for an upgrade, and don't spend a dime for 2 years. That's right, 0 zip zilch, with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's August 2027. Say goodbye to drafts and outdated design, and hello to our acclaimed replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. Get energy-efficient windows and doors and beautiful upgrades with zero regrets. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps 1 minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
Agent, you play the bagpipes for your dog?
What? No, I didn't get that personal. My agent just helped me create an affordable price just for me. Okay, let me show you what I've been working on. Hey, Buster!
Contact me, State Farm Agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome back in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live across the state on Fox Sports Radio. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. The Nate Brown Show is here. Thanks for listening to the program each afternoon drive. Hey, I'm excited for Thursday night. I'm going to be watching this one. Sioux Falls Little League taking on Mid-Atlantic. Little League World Series. Mid-Atlantic regions, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and the team they're going to face just outside of Philly. They got the Pennsylvania team in Williamsport. That might be tough. Might be tough. Head coach at Sioux Falls Little League. He's been on this journey since Indiana. They went out to Williamsport. They're there ready for the opening game coming up. Ryan Vavruska back on the Nate Brown Show. Coach, it's good to get you on. How are you?
Oh, I'd be lying if I didn't tell you I was a little bit stressed. But overall, we're in a good spot.
Okay, that's good to hear. It's exciting, but that's interesting. Stressed, you got you're trying to get things handled. There's all sorts of stuff. I will say this. These teams that have done this, you guys have, it seems like fast and furious. You go to Indiana, you play, you stay there a long time. You get on, you head out to Williamsport, you're there a long time. What is the stress part of this? How do you guys, how have you been handling it?
Well, I mean, we got here late Saturday at about 7 and basically ate supper and went to bed. And then the next day we got up, and it's been go with the ESPN side of things, with getting all the new swag that they've got, with credentials, different stuff, and practices, as you can understand, with 20 teams here, it's been kind of difficult to schedule as well, and accommodating to every team here. So there's just a lot of moving parts when you get here that you can ask the guys that have been here before, but until you're here, you don't quite understand the significance of everything that's around. And at the end of the day, as a coach, you want your kids to enjoy the experience while you're here too, and give them time to build relationships and make new friends with all the other countries and different teams on the U.S. side. So it's just a lot to absorb in a 3-day span that we've been here.
Yeah. Ryan Vavruska is on tonight. He's the head coach for the Sioux Falls Little Leaguers. They've made the Little League World Series now, back-to-back years for Sioux Falls. Are you soaking it up, Coach? Tell me what the atmosphere is like. You talked about the teams and all the requirements and the production side and the stuff. What's Williamsport in this scene like?
It's unbelievable. The boys actually had an opportunity to practice on the main field yesterday for 45 minutes, and it was a surreal moment for me walking out onto the steps. And I've seen it from afar on TV, but being the coach that gets to walk out and guide these 12 boys on Thursday at 7 p.m., it was quite breathtaking for me. But it's been a great experience. We actually have they call them uncles around here that kind of guide us around the property and make sure that we're actually up in the morning, that we're getting breakfast, that we're getting to practice on time, and all the stuff. Like we just went through, there was thousands upon thousands of people in the town of Williamsport. We just did a parade, and it was one of the coolest things I've experienced. And I know the boys were, like, why do we have to do this before we got there? And as we left, they're like, that's one of the coolest things ever. These guys are here for us. So the experience that Little League puts on for these boys is second to none.
That sounds great. I've heard about Williamsport. I've heard about the fanfare and all that stuff. It feels like the whole community, the whole town must get behind this thing. Now, for you on the baseball side, has it been a little bit hard trying to dial it in on the baseball side? You still have a couple of days, but what are you focusing on the baseball side for Thursday?
Now, one of our uncles actually told me yesterday, it was really weird, another grown man telling me that he was proud of me, because we're really, us and Japan are the only teams practicing as much as we are. He's like, I've never seen a team practice 3 times a day. So the first couple of days, that's what we did. We especially yesterday when we practiced on the main field, we got 45 minutes there, then we went to a cage, and then we actually had a practice off field because they don't let you hit on the field here or inside the facility. So they practice you outside of the facility. But the focus for us has really been the small ball side of things, moving runners over, whether they're on second and first, and doing it the right way. Because I feel like these games are going to be extremely competitive, so it's not going to be that 7-1 like we might have experienced down in Indy. It's going to be more like a 3-2 or a 4-1-0. So we've really stressed to the boys to play small ball, put the ball in play to the right side, move runners over, lift the ball in the right counts, just so that they understand the significance of every run is going to come at a premium.
Is it hard for these 12-year-olds to think about that stage? They're going to be on ESPN. I mean, we weren't on that stage, Coach, back in the day, so it's like, how do you deal with that mentally? These are kids. How do you try and keep them focused on the real thing here, the thing?
You know, that is one of the difficult things. We haven't had that talk, I guess, if you want to call it that. I think these guys know, being the team we play is from Pennsylvania, they're expecting anywhere from 25 to 30,000 fans for our game. And I've said it to them before, and I'm going to say it again, that this is probably going to be the biggest crowd that they'll play in front of probably through college, if they move on to play college baseball, because those types of things just don't happen overnight. But the head coach, Tim Corbin, actually came and spoke to us coaches from Vanderbilt, actually came and talked to us coaches, and he had some kids come through his program, and they don't remember anything about what happened during the game. They remember everything that they did outside of the game. So I've kind of walked a fine line to keep them focused on why we're here, but then also experiencing everything outside of baseball, and I think I've done a pretty good job of that so far.
Ryan Vavruska is coaching the Sioux Falls Little Leaguers. They're representing the Midwest. They're taking on Mid-Atlantic. Thursday night, we'll be watching 6 Central, so that'll be a 6 Central start, 5 Mountain, from Williamsport. Mid-Atlantic is this team just outside of Philly is what I'm seeing. Do we have any idea about them?
Yeah, we've actually watched every game that they had in the regional. They have some good arms at the top, just like we do. It looks like their first 5 or 6 hitters are very similar to ours. So we've done our homework as far as coaches go, and I think we got a good game plan to combat putting some runs on the board and putting us in a good position to win the game.
It's wild, man. Sioux Falls has been back to Little League World Series now back-to-back years, numerous times for the Sioux Falls Little League charter. The head coach this year, Ryan Vavruska, getting set for Thursday night. Coach, we'll be watching. Less stress. I hope everything gets taken care of behind the scenes. We look forward to Thursday night. Wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, we're looking forward to getting out there and showing the world what we're made of.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you coming on. Ryan Vavruska from Williamsport tonight. He's got a lot going on, so I appreciate him coming on Fox Sports Radio, giving us a little preview. It's Mid-Atlantic against Midwest, the Sioux Falls Little Leaguers, Thursday night, 6 Central, 5 Mountain. They'll be on, taking on Mid-Atlantic in their opening round game of the Little League World Series. The head coach, Ryan Vavruska, in tonight. Coming back with who's hot and who's not, wrapping it up on the way.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Fun's overboard!
Hey, it's not like it's a person. What's the big deal?
What? That was our only package of Village Hearth old-fashioned buns.
We may as well toss the hot dogs, too. Head for the shore.
Don't let soggy buns put a damper on your lake day. Practice food safety.
Village Hearth, in the land of 10,000 lakes, there's only one bun for your summertime fun.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Stores. They aren't just about air fresheners or fuzzy dice. Auto Value Parts Stores are all about parts, auto parts, and advice. Pros who know auto parts with tons of tips when you need them the most. You want real value? Don't go to a place with a cute name. Go to Auto Value. Could there be a better name? I didn't think so. Your Auto Value Parts Store. We've got the parts, we've got the smarts.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. With today's home values, right now could be a great time to sell your home. The Black Hills housing market is competitive, and I would love to help you get top dollar for your home. I have been selling real estate and attracting buyers in Rapid City for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. If you're thinking of selling your current home, let me put my expertise to work for you. Just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker. List it, sell it, and move on. With me, David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly cloudy skies tonight with a low of 64. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Slight chance for storms tomorrow, 92. Tomorrow night, 65. Daytime highs approaching 94. Thursday, under mainly clear skies. 85. Friday, slight chance for storms. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 83 degrees.
The place that sells the best new cars and trucks is the place you'll find the best used cars and trucks. That place is Danny Mano Toyota. Shop better quality import and domestic models. Buy with no down and make no payments for 90 days. Plus, buy Toyota certified pre-owned with financing as low as 5.49% APR for up to 60 months. See us at Danny Mano Toyota or DannyManoToyota.com. 1910 for 1,000 finance regardless of down. Offers with qualified credit. Expires 9/2/25.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
Stuck in a state of falling behind? Struggling to keep up with your kids, your finances, your insurance, your life? This is State Farm Agent Matt McCormick. Let me help you simplify and get to a better state. With me handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. Even more money, too. Because adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40%. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and get to a better state with State Farm. 348-0464.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, let's do this tonight, Tuesday. Glad you're here. Who's hot and who's not on the Nate Brown Show, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet at the Pizza Ranch, locally owned and operated. Who's hot category going to the Nate Brown Show, Fox Sports, teaming up with a high school sports company. Okay, hang on. This is tomorrow. Tomorrow on this show, we're going to tell you about something new we're doing with high school football. High school football. Your guy, Matt Kearney, he's going to be mentioned. Just wait. It's going to be good tomorrow for fans, for teams. We're going to announce it tomorrow in my Who's Hot. And a listener also had a role in this. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Who's not category? Going to the Fever and Sky game. So I've got my Fever shirt on right now. The Fever are playing the Wings tonight. But Caitlin Clark's been out. Angel Reese was out for Chicago the other night. So here's the number in my Who's Not. Indiana Fever played the Chicago Sky. 1.3 million viewers. That's not bad, right? It was the least watched of their games between Caitlin and Angel when they're supposed to play. They were both out. Least watched games between the teams since 2024. Why is that? Well, we know. Caitlin is the needle. Angel moves the needle. Least watched games between those two teams since 2024. Got to get them back. Got to get Caitlin back. Angel, I mean, that's big for Chicago, too. Thanks for listening to the Nate Brown Show. We are out tonight. Big show tomorrow, a special happy hour with Rob Kegron on a Wednesday. The Nate Brown Show podcast going up right now. We'll see you back here on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Thanks for listening. See ya.
Enjoy unbeatable deals on clothing and more this week at Fleet Farm. Get a $25 gift card free with a $100 purchase of